Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna talk to you real quick about why people shouldn't call or refer to pro wrestling as fictitious. I want to first of all, forgive me for my lack of audience. I'm winging this. Didn't have the crowd and place, so winging it. Bear with me. But yeah, I just want to touch down why pro wrestling shouldn't be referred to or called fake. While pro wrestling is scripted, public speaking in front of thousands of people, difficult training, travel schedule, demanding schedule, risk, physical injuries, as well as the long-term effects are all very, very real. I don't know how many of y'all that are watching this have ever watched pro wrestling, or if anybody does or still does or used to, whatever. But I have my whole life. Still do. Big fan, love it. Love it, love it, love it. But I always hear people say wrestling is fake. And people seem inclined to go out their way and talk about why wrestling is fake. And I have a shop I run where I sell video games and comic books. I guess comic book merchandise, wrestling merchandise, stuff like that. Just anything kind of the nerd, geek fandom. And I typically run wrestling, old wrestling, and people just seem kind of inclined to come in there and just point out, oh, wrestling is fake, wrestling is fake. But, you know, when I start breaking down the psychology behind it and some of the things, they seem to change their mind. So I always, like I tell them, I always point out that, a promo is when wrestlers talk and use interviews to build their character, win over the crowd, become either good or bad through what they say and how they act. You kind of pick up their character. So promos, it's a very real thing. Public speaking, anybody that's watching this right now is in the public speaking class with me. So communication class. So we all know like how difficult public speaking is. It can be, and these people have to do it in front of 15, 20,000, 30,000, sometimes 500, 200, 300, 400, as much as 80,000, 90,000 people. Public speaking, getting a promo over, getting points, bullet points over, or improving in front of that many people and entertaining that many people on a microphone is very hard. And contrary to something like the theater where you have, actually awards given out for acting in front of people and everything. In one take, this is all one take, just like theater. But the only difference, contrary to theater, is this crowd can say whatever they want. They can, chant and yell obscenities, and they boo you and they chant you suck and go home and all of that. And you're just trying to build and get a character over, and it's a very difficult thing to do, as we all know, being in this public speaking class here. The mental training, physical training, spiritual training, it's not easy to become a pro wrestler. The grind, the dedication is real. It's kind of like musicians. You kind of got to just, start your way, train in a garage or something of the likes and start your way up. Just working local shows. It's a grind. It's a real grind and hustle. It's real mental dedication that you need, sacrifice and everything. It's a lot. The amount that you're on the road is crazy. WWE wrestlers, they work 300 days out the year at least. A lot of them, always complain and talk about how strenuous the WWE schedule is. I was looking at a report Fox Sports did. One of the busiest weeks, stars on the tour were traveling a total of 19,574 miles between 2 episodes of Raw in the span of 1 week. 19,574 miles is how much they traveled, flying back and forth to put on shows in a span of a week. It's crazy. It's insane. It's a lot of dedication. The physical training, the physical training of wrestling, learning the actual steps. It's kind of like a dance, wrestling. So you got to learn these steps and how to do moves, how to chain wrestle. No difference than learning a salsa, cha-cha, or learning any type of steps, and then implying your own twist, your own style, character, flair, and all that to it. But to get there, you have to train. You have to do physical training, actual bench, working out and stuff. Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, and them talk about on ESPN. They did a 30 for 30 documentary with Ric Flair, and Ric Flair and some other legends were talking about how they used to train, and they would do fireman carries and wheelbarrows up 20 flights of stairs. Fireman carries when you pick up somebody over your shoulders and carry them. Wheelbarrows when somebody picks up your legs and you basically, baby walk on your hand, crawl on your hands while somebody, carrying your head, look like a wheelbarrow. Up 20 flights of stairs, and then you switch and they do it back. So they would do this and then actually hit the ring and do thousands of flips and bumps is what they call it. Push-ups, all that stuff, to train. And that's insane. It's a it's a hard thing to call fake when you see, or talk to people that went through it, hey, wrestling's fake, and that's the type of training that they did, grinding 5, 10, 20 years in this business. It's a crazy thing. The risk and the physical injuries, the long-term effects is the final, most obvious point to my argument, but yeah, it's not easy to, drop and hit a surface, whether it be a slightly padded surface, a padded surface or not. It's not easy to do that at all. Imagine like waking up every morning and just roll out of bed, just roll out of bed, feel that bump, it takes from the bed to the floor, and then just, imagine what the wrestlers do when they, jump off of, the surfaces that they jump off, and the things they do, they put their lives on the line. They really do. There's plenty of videos you can check out and see for yourself. Some of them real graphic. I was gonna put some up, but it's it's kind of disturbing to watch some of this stuff. So we all have the internet. If anybody feels like just pausing this video that they're watching now and going to YouTube, that check out Psycho Sid injury video. Psycho Sid breaks leg. That's an interesting one. Stone Cold breaks neck. That's an interesting one. Sabu breaks neck. Sabu, S-A-B-U, breaks neck. If you want to see some stuff, I mean, it's just hard to discredit this story. Like I said, we all know that wrestling's scripted. The point of wrestling is to make it look as painful as possible without it hurting anybody, with it being as least painful as possible, and as an art form to it all. So but through it, of course, it's there's a fine blend too. But through it, there's a lot of injuries and real things that go into putting on this script. So it's just something I like to discuss and talk about, why I think labeling wrestling fake is the wrong word to use. Between the dedication, the sacrifice, the training, the talent, the rhythm, the timing, the public speaking aspect of it, the risk, the physical injuries, and the long-term effects, I think it's safe to say that labeling wrestling fake is not the correct thing to do. Alright, thank y'all for listening.